Hello. I am fresh out of the shower and I made a mistake at work, right? As one does. It's to be expected. We're human. But you have to understand I have a very, 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 very horrible relationship with mistakes. I kind of have an idea. I kind of have a faint idea as to why my relationship with mistakes is so bad, but I need to talk it out. Okay. So whenever I make a mistake, I immediately split in my thinking. Splitting just refers to, actually, let me look it up. Let me look it up so I get it right. So splitting in psychology refers to a defense mechanism where a person views individual objects or situations as either all good or all bad. It involves black and white thinking where there is no room for nuance or gray areas. Whenever I make a mistake, it doesn't matter how big the mistake is, it doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter if I'm in the best place of my life or I'm in the worst mindset of my life. All of the sudden, I wish to destroy myself. I wish to destroy myself. I wish to destroy everything associated with that mistake. Any person who was around me when I made that mistake, they immediately become evil to me. And I don't express this outwardly, obviously. Like, I keep it inside. I don't, like, if I make a mistake, I'll get moody, but I won't express the extent to which everything has just shifted. It feels as though the worst moment of my entire life has happened when I make a mistake. It feels like I'm falling through the floor. It's the worst feeling in the world. And the thing is I can't make that feeling stop. Even after I've made the mistake, even after everyone tells me, like, yeah, no, it's really not that big a deal, you're fine. It will gnaw at me for weeks, months, sometimes years. So I try my best not to make any mistakes so that I don't get this feeling inside of me. And I want to say that the reason I have such a negative relationship with mistakes is because I am not afraid of making a mistake. Like, I make mistakes all the time by myself in my own home and I don't beat myself up for it. Like, if I fuck up my eyeliner when I'm doing my makeup, I'm just like, okay, let me just wipe this off, whatever. It's only when I make mistakes out in public that this happens, where I split and everything is awful. And I think it's because I am not afraid of making a mistake. I am afraid of how my mistake will make others behave. Because when you make a mistake, obviously, those around you are going to be mad. Whether they express this outwardly or not, every single time you make a mistake, the people around you will be mad at you. To at least some degree. And I am not afraid of making a mistake. I am afraid that my mistake will make people angry, and I'm afraid of what other people are going to do with that anger. Because people behave incredibly irrationally when they are mad. And that scares the ever-loving shit out of me. It scares me so bad what people do with anger. Because I am a very, very, very angry person. I am mad at everything, all the time, every day. I am mad at the fact that I have to wake up in the morning. I'm mad at the way our government is structured. I'm mad at the way society is functioning. Every time I hear a person chew, it makes me want to rip out their eyelashes individually. No one will fully understand the extent to which I am mad. Now, here's the thing. I do not express this. I do not express this because I know that 99% of my anger is irrational. Like, it's just irrational anger that's just in me, that maybe I was born this way or maybe it developed from the strange childhood I had. So I don't really express anger because I've learned to tell the difference between the 75% that's just me, that's either irrational or I'm hungry, and the actual 25% where I need to express it. So when I feel anger, I don't express it the way that some other people do. Some other people, the second they feel angry, they will go into a blind rage. They'll start punching holes in the wall. They'll start throwing things. They'll start screaming. They'll start yelling. They will start tearing you apart psychologically and emotionally and physically because they don't know how to control their anger. And the only thing they know how to do with not only their anger, but with like literally every single other one of their emotions is just throw it at other people. So I get really afraid to make a mistake because I don't know how other people are going to handle the anger that I make them feel. And I do a lot of things like that, where if I think that I'm going to make someone mad or angry, I will avoid doing a thing because I don't know how they are going to respond to the feeling that I make them feel. That is what I'm afraid of. That is the thing that stops me from expressing myself. It's not that I don't like me. Like I said, when I'm alone in a room by myself, I'll make as many mistakes as I want in the world and I'll be very outwardly expressive. And I don't give a shit because it's just me with me. And I have a pretty good relationship with me, right? It's not the best relationship with me, but I'd say it's pretty good. But when I'm around other people, I will hide because I'm afraid of their reaction to their own anger. And my relationship with mistakes mimics that. I'm afraid to make mistakes in front of others. Because when I made mistakes in front of a lot of people throughout my childhood, my family, teachers, anyone, they would kind of rip into me. And like I said, it was from parents who didn't like me making mistakes. But it was also ingrained into me from my schooling and my ballet years because if you fail a test or you mess up on stage, that's a mistake. And you will be reprimanded for it. You will get an F on the test or you will be, yelled at backstage. There are consequences for making mistakes. And the consequence was my life, And so when I make a mistake, it's not just that I'm making a mistake right there in that moment. It's like I am simultaneously feeling every single time a person threw their anger on me when I made a simple human error. And I hate people. And I hate being around them because so many people don't know how to control their emotions. And they don't know how to and they don't know how to behave. Because we're at the whim of how others behave. We really are, to some degree, the way that we behave. We as people, us individuals, sends out a ripple effect into the universe. And then however anyone chooses to respond to that ripple is their business, right? And I think about that all the time. Like how do my actions and my words and my mistakes affect others and how will it make them feel? And if it's going to make them feel angry and they have a history of being very harsh with their anger, or I don't know how they respond to anger, it will feel like I'm drowning when I make a mistake. And I didn't know that was my problem with mistakes because this whole time everyone's like, oh, you're fine, Bailey. Like, you need to stop being so hard on yourself. It's okay to make a mistake. And I'm like, I know it's okay to make a mistake. But every time I make a mistake, it feels like the floor is falling out under me. And I finally explored the idea of like, why? Why do you feel like the floor is falling out from under you when you make a mistake? Because I am afraid of how others will react. That's the whole story. That's the end of it. But then like, what's the solution? I need to have a better relationship with other people's anger I need to trust people more. I need to not be so afraid of how others respond. I don't really know what exactly the solution is, but I'm glad I found the problem. I have a fear of angry people. How am I going to get over that one?